is Shop Talk, baby. This is the show where it's okay to be you. We're talking from Yale to jail and from the church house to the pimp house. Nothing's excluded on Shop Talk. So if you don't have a phone, I suggest you borrow one. Call in and voice your opinion live every Saturday morning from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Yeah, that's right, 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Don't forget to Shop Talk with your girl, because right here, we keeps it real. Good morning to you. You're listening to Shop Talk with Mel, and I welcome first-time listeners, long-time callers. We got to get some callers back in there. Before we start the show, let me put this number out here, 619-902-2287, 619-902-2287. And guess what? You can text your girl now. So if you don't want to be put on blast or you don't want people to hear your voice and say, oh, that was so-and-so, that was Tracy from the north side, you don't have to worry about it. All you have to do is text the number 619-902-2287, and I will not shout you out. How about that? Today's topic is, how do we mentor today? And our guest today is none other, and he has been on the show several times, Officer Malik Mostella. Let's give it up for him. Hey, how you doing? You like my sound effects, right? I'm trying. I am definitely trying to make it happen. I need my people back. You know what I mean? I only got two hands, and it's like, wait, what we had to do? You know, my coffee is not, I got coffee today instead of tea. Y'all know I usually rock with the tea, but I got this coffee, and it's not sweet enough. It's like, it tastes like coffee. That's what it tastes like. It tastes like coffee. And I'm like, ew, that's not good. I'm like, that is not good at all. So how was your week, Officer Malik?
It was all right. A little busy, but that's the norm. It's going all right.
Okay. Nothing exciting? Or is always exciting?
No, I don't know about exciting. We did a little bit of training this week. We did our normal annual firearms qualifications this week.
Okay.
And then from there, I had a meeting with Judge Delic and a group that she's putting together for some programs that we're going to be doing in the city.
Okay, well, let me let the lovely listeners know, since we are heard worldwide, we are speaking to Officer Malik Mostella out of Ohio. All right? Okay. And you said, so you spoke with the judge and you guys are going to do some things together?
Yeah, I'm on a committee that she's putting together to do some things in the valley, not just the city, but the valley as well. And
okay. Mahoney Valley.
Yep.
All right. Okay. You excited?
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm always excited to do something good around here. Always.
Always excited to do a little good in the neighborhood. Frankie Halfacre, shout out. I did it backwards like I'm dyslexic, but yeah. Do a little good in the neighborhood. That go a long way, don't it? Everybody knows that one. Like, All right, so today's topic is how to mentor today. And I know that you have a mentoring program now, correct?
Correct.
Okay, I remember they had one at the school some time ago. I want to say Shuffin, because I was a mentor. Your girl was a mentor. And I still keep in contact with the two, young ladies that I mentored as well. And that was, she was a teacher, Lois Haynes Page, or did I mix it up? I probably mixed it up. But hey, Lois. So tell me about your mentoring program, and then we'll get into the meat of it and all my lovely questions.
Well, the Lifetime Mentorship Program is a partnership that I'm doing in conjunction with the Youngstown City School System.
Uh-huh.
The program itself starts with the third graders and it runs all the way through 12th grade. So the schools are going to choose the kids that they need a mentor, and we're going to try to place mentors with each of these kids from, it's going to, like I said, 3rd through 12th, so it's not just starting in 3rd grade, it's going to be every grade from 3rd all the way up through 12th grade.
Okay, and you said the schools are going to choose?
Yeah, the schools are going to pick the kids that they know that truly need a mentor, kids that might be borderline of going left or right, that they know that having somebody positive around is going to have a positive effect in their life to help them choose which way to go. But the way that the program works is that if you get a third grader, you're going to stay with that third grader till that third grader graduates.
Okay.
You're in it for the long haul. If you get involved in this program, you're in it for the long haul. But if you don't deal well with little kids, then you can request to start at like the junior high level.
Okay.
And stay with that kid all the way up, or the high school level if the kid's in the 9th or 10th grade, and stay with that kid until that kid graduates as well. So, and the way that the program works is that you meet with the kid once a month at school. The school is going to get permission from the parent for you to be involved with the child, of course, and then the school and the parent will be able to reach out to the mentor so that they can talk, so they can all be on the same page.
So, and I hate starting a sentence with so known as a conjunction. Right, listen, and you know what? It's probably like, our little people, that's how they start sentence. You'd be like, well, what happened? So, I'd be like, no, start it over. So anyway, that sounds like the Big Brother program. You remember that a long time ago?
Yeah, I remember it.
Okay. And when they kind of stay with you. And also, my question that I really have is when you say that I said the faculty, the school, we'll just say the school, chooses who needs mentoring and who doesn't. Why did you go that route?
In all honesty, the school teachers, they spend more time with the kids during the day than anybody else does. And a lot of times they get to see even what the parents don't know about the kids at times. Because you know how kids are. We both got kids. A lot of times they'll confide in other people before they say anything to you.
And that's true.
So it was better to choose from the schools who see these kids every day, somewhat know what they deal with, what they go through, to be able to place them with mentors. Plus, it was also a way for me to, with my job as community liaison, to connect another dot between the Youngstown Police Department and the Youngstown City School System to be able to work together on this.
Okay. Now, I'm asking that question, it's something else to it, and I'm not trying to rewrite your program at all. In no way, shape, form, or fashion. I promise you I'm not. But when the school, and I'm not speaking for the schools, but I'm just speaking. Okay. So if they choose the child, I really hope, this is a message to them. How about that? I really hope they look deeper, and I understand that they had child psychology and all that, so I know. Look, so I know they probably will look deeper. But what about that child that's not the problem child that's quiet, though?
Well, those too. We're not just looking for problem kids. We're looking for kids that just flat out need mentors. There are going to be people in the program that are, what I mean by borderline is like somebody like you just said too. The kid that really doesn't say anything, the kid that needs like a social outlet, things like that. It's not behavior based.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know. Okay.
It's not behavior based at all. It's child based.
Okay. All right, I like that.
The correct word in the schools now is scholars. So it's scholar based, not behavior based.
Okay.
Not one bit.
Well, that's good. That's good to know, because I was really, my wheels were turning. Like, okay, wait a minute. So who gets to choose these? Because I'm not gonna lie to you. I remember back in the day. Remember Rides and Lamps?
Yep.
Listen, I used to want to go. I used to want to go because every time they would come to the door, they'd be like, rides, lamps. And then people would leave up out of the classroom. But then when they came back with snacks. I was like, I want in on that. I want parts of that. And then as I got older, I realized what it was for. And I was like, oh, okay. And one of my good friends, love her to pieces, she went to one of them, the one for reading. She would like speed read. And sometimes, as you got older, you're like, oh, okay, that's if you had trouble reading or blah, 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 blah. but that girl could read. I mean, like, zoop, and she was able to comprehend. So I didn't understand why she got to go and I didn't get to go.
There were kids in those programs who really didn't need to be there. They just filled the numbers at times.
Okay, yeah. I'm like, bring me a noun later. Watermelon. Like, yeah, that way you come back. Let me get that. But that's what I was wondering, if that was like, chosen that way. People, that have issues like, okay, or let me say, issues that were out. External issues that you saw. Okay, this child may be a problem, like you stated at the very beginning, and can go either left or right, and let me go ahead and do A, B, C, and D. You know what I'm saying? Let me go ahead and correct this person. So that's why I was asking that question, because a lot of people have issues, and they may be that quiet student that you think, and they may be that straight A student that you think is all is well, but they have issues at home that they may need to voice.
Yeah, which is another one of the reasons why I created the program.
Okay.
It's not just behavior based; it's student based. Mm-hmm. So, if the student, what qualifies you for the program is just the guidance counselor or teacher take an interest in you and saying this child would benefit from having a mentor, from having somebody else positive around to help them. It's not based on, look, he can't sit still. He don't want to listen to nobody.
Right.
That's not what it's based on at all.
Okay. Now I'm getting some clarity. So guidance counselors, they still have guidance counselors?
They still have guidance counselors. They have social workers. I mean, they have I don't remember us having social workers.
At all. We didn't. That's why I'm like,
remember social workers being in the schools when we were in. But yeah, they have resources. A lot of people, I don't know if people actually understand that. If people actually, I'm not going to get on my soapbox about getting involved with your kids at school. If people actually looked around, there are a lot of resources in the community that the community just don't take advantage of. And the schools have a lot of resources to help the community that people just don't take advantage of.
I want to talk about this social worker. When I saw that there were social workers, I thought the social workers took the place of the guidance counselors. So I'm glad to hear that they do have guidance counselors that are to guide the student and make sure they have all the credits that they need before they graduate. But I ain't going to get on my soapbox either. Okay. Put the phones down. I ain't even going to lie to you. I really feel like when they come in, you taking the child's phone, put yours down too, ma'am or sir, because I see a lot of that. Now, back to the social worker. I'm glad social workers are there. I really am. However, some parents look at social workers as monitors or police.
That's not what they're there for.
Right, but some parents do feel like that they have to be, that they're being judged based off their child. And let me explain if you don't understand, because you look a little bewildered. We're on Zoom for the listening audience. Oh, you get it? Okay. All right. And it's like, go ahead.
You know me, that brain is always turning. I get it, most definitely. But that can be cleared up real quick with a simple conversation.
Now, you're right. Ask them, why are you here? Why is a social worker here?
Well, if you truly take interest in what's going on with your kid, you should want to know why this person is in the building, what their job is, what their interaction with my child is. Uh-huh. You should want to know all of that.
You know what? I think some people are afraid or think they're overstepping their boundaries. Like, this is what the school offers. I'm not able to ask, and that's not the case. What this person is here for. Oh, you have this. Oh, we have counseling in the building. And you look at the counseling, you're like, okay. And we have the social worker. Oh boy, if I don't have food, I hope they don't take my child. I hope my child comes home from school. That type thing, instead of looking at it as they'll help you to get food.
Yeah. Well, they'll send food home with the kid.
Right.
I can tell you how many days we packed up bags and gave it to kids. I'm like, here, take this home. I mean, the schools are a great resource for the community community actually just speaks up.
Right.
Have a conversation. I mean, I don't know about anybody else, but if you had, when my kids were growing up, and my stepdaughter now, you have my child for 8 to 9 hours a day. I want to know who you are, what you're doing, and why you're doing it. Because my kid is there.
Right.
I'm not going to you my kid and be like, they're your responsibility. They're not. They're my responsibility. And I need to know what's going on with my child. So what do you do? Why do you do it? And how long you been doing it? I need to know all of that. All it takes, you shouldn't be afraid to ask a question when it comes to your own children.
Yeah, there's a lot don't want to ruffle the feathers.
I'm sorry, I'm plucking them out.
You plucking them out. You're like, hey, what is this? I need to know, right? And you know what? That's true. Your mentoring program, when did you start it?
After the chief appointed me, allowed me to create the position that I have.
Okay, well, let's start here, Officer Malik. The listening audience have no idea who you are. So, or the chief or whoever it is, when? What was the date?
Okay.
Like a month, a year, 2 months?
In January, I'll just give you the month. In January, Carl Davis was appointed our new police chief by Mayor Tito Brown. Mm-hmm. The week after he became police chief, he interviewed me and asked me what did I want to do to help, because after he became chief, in his interviews directly after he became chief, my name kept coming up.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
For the community work that I've been doing and being involved doing this, doing that, my name kept coming up, so he pulled me in the office. Uh-huh. And asked me what would I like to do, what would I want to do to try to help things, because his main point was he wanted to connect the dots in the city to the police department. So I told him I would like to create the position of community liaison to be the pencil that connected the dots.
Okay.
And I got transferred back then.
Very good. And you are a good choice, because like the entire city, they know you. And I know you and let me say this. People are so comfortable with you that when there's a question, because I know I'll be like, boop, 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 boop. Now, wait a minute. What is this? And what is it? Can we do? You be like, okay, and then you break it down for me and all is well. But there's a lot of people that go, Officer Malik. I'm about to call Officer Malik. So, yes, you are the connection. You are the connection with the police department that people actually feel comfortable enough to come to you. I know that you are a part of, what is it, Shades of Blue?
Yep.
Shades of Blue. I like that program. And some people don't even realize that, we see your face everywhere. We do. We see your face everywhere. It's like, boom, and we can approach you. We be at the grocery store, blah, 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 blah. And you always take the time to answer all the questions. So kudos to you. And I'm not gassing you up because I know you are gassing you up because you on the show. I'm speaking truth. So, and I'm sure that, other people who know other officers, they contact their people. But I know that, I know in the community when they may not even know you personally, they'll find out your name and it's like, okay, I'm going to ask him. You know what I mean? So kudos to you for actually being that person that people feel like they could come and speak to. Now, the Shades of Blue, I know we're talking about mentoring, but let's talk about the Shades of Blue real fast, okay? Okay. Shades of Blue, I remember when Black Lives Matter, and then it was Blue Lives Matter, and it was that, and I'm going to just say it, controversy for some that felt like, okay, wait a minute, are you for us or you're with the police? And they kind of put you in the box. You guys had the Shades of Blue, and lovely people, if you want to know about the Shades of Blue, I'm going to try my best and pray that you guys can come back on because they were on in December. And you should be able to see it on YouTube. But the Shades of Blue, real quick, tell me about that.
Shades of Blue is an organization that was founded by 7 people who are all minorities, who are all black, and law enforcement. The reason why we founded the organization was because at the height of the protest and all of the people screaming out about what was going on with police around the country, there was a chief's panel that kept speaking to the churches because the churches asked for the police to speak out. But the big question that kept coming from the community was, where are our black officers? Why are they not speaking out? Why are they not standing up to say anything? But in all honesty, we were. So we decided to form a group so that everybody would know that there is the group out there. There are people out there who do speak up, who are involved in the community, who do things. It wasn't like we weren't already doing it. It was just we weren't waving our flag. So we decided to combine resources and ask other like-minded people to join. As of today, we have 36 members.
Okay.
All around the valley. It's not just Youngstown, it's the area.
Okay.
If you are full-time or part-time law enforcement, you can join Shades of Blue. We've done raffles, we've raised money, we've helped to send people to the police academy. We actually have 2 officers that are in the academy right now, with 2 cadets who are in the academy right now, who are training to be police officers that we bought all of their uniforms for them.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, so with Shades of Blue, you said law enforcement. So is that any part of law or just the ones that, because law enforcement
is a broad field.
Right. I'm like, so who is that? Like, say your 911 operators, would they be considered?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We have 911 operators who belong to the organization.
Okay. I was wondering because a lot of people don't look at your 911 operators as part of law enforcement, and they hear, you know what I mean? And then
they're important. They're our first connection with the community. They are very important. A lot of people don't realize how important they are.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. I wanted to get that out there. So now let's talk about the mentoring program. What's the name of it again? I don't want to mess up.
The Lifetime Mentorship Program.
The Lifetime Mentorship Program?
Yes, ma'am. I'm
nervous. Lifetime? That sounds long. But you did say from 3rd all the way until they graduate.
Because the whole point is to help them gain focus and gain skills that are going to last them a lifetime. Mm-hmm. The whole point is to, when they're in the younger grades, they pick 6 careers that they want to be, and along with their schoolwork, they have to research those careers. And then what we're going to do the second half of the school year, what we're going to do is we're going to have 2 career days, 2 at each building.
Okay.
The first one is going to be for like us adults to come in and have like a community employment fair where we actually just talk about what we do, how we do it. Like you would come in and talk about nursing, you talk about the show, everything that you're doing, so that the kids can get an understanding of what people are doing, what people do and how they do it. Mm-hmm. The second career day is actually going to be Dress for Success Day, where the kids come to school dressed as what they want to be when they graduate, when they grow up, and then give a short presentation on who they are that day and what that job does.
Okay.
So it's a part of the program. When you reach high school, it gets narrowed down to 3 or 4 jobs that you want to do, 3 or 4 careers, so that you have focus for those 4 years. So when you graduate, you know you're already in a position to be able to start your own business, to go to a trade school, to go to the military, to pursue college in athletics. However, whatever it is you decide to do, you have a plan that you're actually carrying out. Because a lot of these kids graduate and they're just standing there looking around. Or they don't graduate at all because they've never had a plan. They were never focused.
Or no one actually asked them.
Right.
And I know, just being in the community, how many times have you actually asked a senior or junior, or just a high school student, so what do you want to be when you graduate? What are you going to do when you get out? And there's no plan.
There's no plan. Some of them don't think they're going to be alive that long.
And that's horrible.
It's horrible. They think 20, 21 years old is old. They think 25 is an OG.
Oh.
You can't. We have to, their mindset, we have to help them develop their mindset, and it's too late at 6th grade, at 8th grade, at 12th grade. It's too late at that point. You got to reach them when it's, remember the silly putty we used to play with where you could put your thumbprint in?
Uh-huh.
That's third grade.
Okay. Oh, okay.
That's second or third grade. When they're still impressionable, when you can still show them that this is what you can be if you want to do it, where their current circumstances, whatever they may be, good or bad, somewhere down the line is going to cause them to believe that this is all it's ever going to be for me, which is not true. You make your own way in this life. But we've got to explain that to them. We've got to show it to them so that they understand that if you work hard and you push forward, your circumstances now don't have to be your circumstances as an adult unless you want them to be that way.
Yes.
And as adults, I think we forget at times, because we get so wrapped up in being adults, that as teenagers and as young kids, we want it to be heard as well. We need to take the time to listen to them, figure out what it is they want to do and how they want to do it, and then support them. Most of the time with kids, we try to tell them what they should be doing or how they should be doing it. This generation especially really don't want to hear what we think about what they should be doing or how they should be doing it.
That's why I asked that question. How do you mentor today?
You listen to them. A lot of them, the majority of them, want to do stuff beyond what they see now. A lot of them want to be business owners. A lot of them don't want to work for nobody else. They want to get their own brand. They want to work it. And if you truly want to do that, my advice to them is, okay, while you're pursuing that, you still need a job while you're pursuing that. While you're pursuing your dreams in the clouds, you need to have your feet on the ground.
Yes.
So you got to eat. So I'm not telling you not to pursue your dream. I'm telling you, what else do you like to do that you could earn a living at while you pursue that dream?
Now, that's true.
So you can reinforce plan A. Because plan B should be to reinforce plan A. Flat out.
There you go.
So, and there are plenty of programs out there that can help them create their own businesses, help them. Like Huntington Bank, for one, has a program where they walk you through how to set up your LLC or get your 501c3 or start your business off the ground with business loans. But, of course, the catch to it is you open up your account with Huntington Bank. But that's pretty
good, though. That's a fair exchange.
It's a fair exchange when you get this all for free. Because most places charge you to help you do all of that. You can walk in there in one day and walk out with your 501c3, your LLC, everything completely set up for what you want to do with your business plan in place to be able to apply for a loan, a business loan, to be able to start your business if you can prove to them that it's viable and that you're going to be able to make money with it.
I'm glad you said that when you said a business plan. I was speaking to a friend of mine and she needed to put together a business plan. And I was so touched that she asked me because she didn't understand what a business plan was. And I looked, I was like, man, thank you for thinking that I knew. But I want to tell people, and I'm going to put it out there for everyone. When someone says, write a business plan, don't get afraid of the wording. And that's what happens. You're like, a business plan? Well, I don't know what that is. We have Google out here. This is the easiest way that I say to write a business plan. Takes you all the way back to English and writing a paper. Those questions: who, what, when, where, why, and how. Your how is, how do you plan on executing this? And don't forget, you have to have your goal. What's your goal? Your goal is going to be in there. And you'll answer it with the who, what, when, where, why, and how. Okay?
Another trick to that is the goal can't be to make money. The goal has to be something beyond making
passion, your purpose. And that has to be included. But we know in the back of our mind, let's keep it 100. Yeah, I'm trying to make money. Unless it's a nonprofit. If it's a nonprofit, then by all means.
But either way, you're still providing a service.
Yes. And
so what is your goal in providing that service?
True. And that's your what? Who, what? That's your second question. So just write those down. Who, what, when, where, why, how, when you're trying to start a business, or if somebody asks you what's your business plan. And let me say this too. It doesn't even have to be a business plan. What is your plan? Write all those down. That was my Be Inspired. I'm going to go on live and talk about the Be Inspired. here. Because I miss my lovely people on Friday. I usually come on Friday, but sometimes it's so, like right now, it's kind of hard to be up when everything around you is down. And it's like, oh, can we please, come on, let's do some things. So that'll be my Be Inspired, and I'm going to do it live. And you guys have to catch me on YouTube at Shop Talk with Mel on YouTube, and then you'll see the Be Inspired, okay? Because I know Facebook Live is like, where is she at? I'm on YouTube. Look, after that last time when it went off, I said, wait a minute. Facebook going off, I got to have a plan B, just like Officer Malik said. All right, now, with this mentoring program, how do I become interested?
Well,
I am interested, but become a part of it, rather.
You email me.
What's your email address?
My lowercase PTL MOSTELLA at Youngstown, Ohio, one word, .gov.
Okay, I'll have that email address listed beneath us right now, and you guys feel free to email Officer Mostella.
I have 44 people signed up right now, including one who lives all the way out in Vegas.
Okay.
Who's going to be involved in the program. I've got 44 people signed up. I'm looking for more because I know I'm going to have more than that amount of kids because it's the whole school system. And at some point, this program is going to venture off into the charter schools, I'm sure.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask you. Is it just for Youngstown City schools and it's not?
Now, to get it up off the ground, yes.
Okay, so that's the hub.
That's the hub. So once I get it up off the ground, I am not going to forget about all of the schools around us in the city of Youngstown. There's Valley Christian, there's Stanbar, there's Southside Academy.
There's a ton.
There's a ton.
There's a ton.
Once I get it up completely running and we're able to work out the kinks, because there's always kinks. Once we're able to work out the kinks, I'm going to open it up to everybody else. But I want to work the kinks out first.
Okay.
Once I'm dealing with the biggest school system inside the city first.
Gotcha.
To make sure that I get that taken care of, and then I'm going to venture out to everybody else. I'm not leaving anybody out.
Awesome. Very good. So to be a mentor, what's the criteria?
Well, you want to be involved, and then we're going to work with My Brother's Keeper to do the training and everything. Training is free. The background checks are free because we just can't let anybody walk into the schools.
Dang! No.
We're not just letting out. If somebody says that, now we got people out there who've asked me, I used to sell dope, I've been in prison, all of that. I'm like, okay, but you're working now, you own your own business, you're doing it right. You're the people I want.
Okay.
You're the people I want. I want them too because
the second chances.
They can tell those kids, look, I didn't listen when I was growing up. And I ended up losing this amount of years of my life to some nonsense. And now I'm out here trying to do the best I can to make up for the time that I lost and to show you that you don't need to go the same route that I went. So those aren't disqualifying offenses.
Okay.
I mean, it should be self-explanatory for what's going to offend you. If you're out there doing stuff for kids you ain't got no business doing, don't even think about it because we're gonna find that.
Okay. So those are muffin men. Don't even apply. Do you?
That's gonna show up.
Yeah.
But I need good people who want to do work, who understand that. Because most mentorship programs, I worked with the schools for over 20 years. Most mentorship programs last a school year, a semester, or the people quit. If you get involved in this from the beginning, you need to know what you're getting into. So it's not like I'm signing people up and go, oh yeah, by the way, you're going to stay with this kid till they graduate. No, I'm telling you up front what you're getting into before you say you want to get involved. Because people come in and out of these kids' lives all the time.
And that's a problem too, because they're looking they need a constant.
Right.
You need that.
Everybody's not like you. Everybody's not like you. The people you mentored, you still stay in touch with.
I do.
And that's not the norm. In all honesty, that's not the norm. You have people like you who actually do stay in touch with the people that they've worked with, that they've mentored, that they've coached. But there are people out, but a lot of the times those people disappear when it no longer suits them. I can't count how many people that I know who were part of mentor programs that the school started that the moment that it didn't work out the way that they thought it was going to be, or they didn't get what they thought they should get, they just left, and that poor kid is left standing there with somebody
abandoned, possibly abandoned again.
Yeah. So if you're getting involved in this, understand that you're in this from, if that kid's in the 7th grade, you're with them for the next 5 years. And 9 times out of 10, if you don't form a relationship with them, it's going to go beyond that 5 years. Mm-hmm. So if you truly want to be involved and help somebody, this is a great program to do it with. Right now, I got 44 people who've accepted the challenge. I'm looking for more because I know I'm going to need more.
True. That's awesome. So again, your email address is
lowercase PTL MOSTELLA at youngstownohio.gov.
PTL. What does that stand for?
Patrolman.
Okay. So look, I'm like, sometimes, I have to use words. I'm like, wait, what letters was it? Patrolman.
No, but don't put patrolman.
No, PTL.
PTL.
Okay, PTL. All right. I have to associate the word association. Like, okay, what were those letters? Patrolman. I'll remember PTL. Okay, PTL. Mostella.
At youngstownohio.gov.
All right. I want to make sure I get it right once I type it down below. Is there anything that you wanted to share with, the listening audience before I let you go?
Well, yeah, I'm getting ready to leave now to go and do the Unity Strong program at the Boys Club. The Unity Strong program is a female empowerment program for girls 8 to 18.
Okay.
Where we have a female speaker come in every third Saturday, so once a month, and they talk about, usually from the area, where they talk about themselves, their career, what they do, what schools they went to. In other words, if I can do it, you can do it. Yeah. And then we provide them with lunch, which is provided by the Mocha House.
Okay. Chicken chili. Shout out to the Mocha House.
They provide them quick sandwiches, and I get the popping water and stuff for the kids, and then they sit and they talk. There's a Q&A, and then we go home. So 12 to 1:30, trying to get people to come. That's the hardest part about these programs. I've had sporadic involvement, but we do stuff for the boys all the time. It's rare we do stuff for the girls, and the girls need empowerment too. Definitely. So, and by the way, the mentorship program is boys and girls. It's not boys. Okay. It's boys and girls.
Students. So
students, period.
Students. Okay. That's why I asked you, how do you mentor today? Because people don't want to come. And how do you get them to join in? You know what I mean? How do you do it? It's like, I want to mentor. Like you said, you have 44 people who signed on. Now it's in the schools saying, okay, this person, I would like this person to be part of the program. I think they'll benefit from this program. But then you have the parents that are like, well, what day? I don't have transportation. How am I going to get them there? Because I don't want to say that the parents don't want them involved, because I'm sure they do. And you made a key point that I want to put out here. Hold on one second. You said, so it doesn't even matter about, okay, if this is a single family home or a 2-parent household. Children sometimes don't feel comfortable speaking to their parents. And they feel more comfortable speaking to a stranger, just as you said, but stranger danger, little people, but a mentor is somebody different. That's what I wanted to point out. And you actually stated it early on. Sometimes it's easier to talk to somebody else.
We're coming from the school to see a kid once a month, so the parent doesn't have to worry about transportation, because the mentor will come to the school once a month.
Oh, during school hours?
During school hours.
So what happens to that school time?
Well, they're going to come at a time when there's downtime. Downtime is built into every school day for the kids. So when they
is that the study hall? Is that like the study hall?
Yeah, like a study hall. Or like right now, they're not really going out. They go outside a little bit, but when they go out, they have the little kids have lunchtime.
Yes,
recess. They go out and they play a little bit. So there's free time in the day, and they just have to plan around that. That's okay. That'll be up to the mentor and whoever's in charge of the program inside the building to set the time for when the mentor comes up. And like anything else, it takes a conversation.
Yeah.
It takes a conversation to get that part settled, and then they'll know what time and when to come in, and then that'll become a part of the scholar's routine, their daily routine. Well, I know once a month at this time, my mentor's coming in, and I'll be able to sit and talk with them.
Okay. Now, as a mentor, do you guys meet and how often?
Once we get up and running, I plan on doing like a mentor retreat. Once we're up and running.
Okay.
And I know exactly, because I know there are going to be questions. I know that they're going to be, well, we can do this or we can do that. So once we're up and running at the end of the year, once it's completely said and done for the end of the year, I plan on getting some surveys back from my mentors, and then having a mentor retreat somewhere down the line in the middle of the summer, combined with the schools, so we can tweak it. And then once we tweak it, I'll open it up to everybody else. But I would like to get to 100 mentors.
Okay. And then you'll be able to actually talk about the needs of the students.
Yes.
At that.
I would like to get to 100 mentors to be able to affect 100 children. Mm-hmm. And then go from there. Because if I get 100 and they love the program, they're going to tell other people.
Right.
Once I get more than 100 people, I can open it up to the other schools.
Okay.
Or I can make it school specific where if the schools have the other schools have people who want to get involved, who want to do stuff, they can just be mentors for the school that they're at, which works for me. I have no problem. I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. So,
right. Okay.
I gotta be able to get the program up and running completely first to tweak it to make sure that it's done correctly.
Awesome.
Because like anything that's brand new, you gotta work it to make it work.
Now that's the truth. That is the truth. Now that's a word right there. That'll preach. Give me your information one more time, your contact information.
Contact information is Malik Mostella, Community Liaison, Youngstown Police Department. Email address is PTL Mostella at youngstownohio.gov. My work telephone number, I have two, is 330-742-8224. That's my office. My cell, which I would prefer that you use because I'm barely in the office.
Okay.
So my cell is 330-207-0418.
All righty. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming on Shop Talk with Mel. Again, lovely people who just tuned in. Today's guest is Officer Malik Mostella. He has a mentoring program and he's dealing with the youth of today. He did state earlier, if you just tuned in, how most youth are looking to start their own business. So reach out, and I think that's awesome. That's amazing. Be an entrepreneur. Have that leadership role. To be a mentor, you can contact or email him at PTL Mostella, Mostella at youngstownohio.gov. All right. And he gave his number. You can rewind this or do whatever you need to do. That's the benefit on here. Rewind this or whatever it is that you need to do, because it will record and get all the information that you need. Okay. And if you're having trouble listening, because we're on a Zoom right now, we get ready to come back in. I promise you that. Listening to Shop Talk with Mel to all your friends, and you can listen to Shop Talk with Mel on your favorite podcast. You'll find us. All right. Thank you so much, Malik, for coming on. I truly appreciate you. If you want to, you get ready to go to the mentoring program at the Boys and Girls, not the mentoring program.
Really stronger a little bit. But if somebody has a question for me, you text me, I'll answer it.
Okay. What's the number again?
You have my personal, yeah.
The number they can text.
No, you text me. If it's for the show, you text me.
Okay, I got you. All right, yeah. If you have any questions, you guys know how to reach out to me on shoptalkwithmel.com. You know, y'all can text on here, 619-902-2287. And yes, I'll shoot him a text during the show. All right, lovely people. Thank you, Malik. We getting ready to start our shop topics.
Right.
And thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, my lovely people. We got a lot to talk about. We have Nick the Voice in the building. And we also have, Arugo, the movie got right on time for these shop topics. Were you guys able to listen to the show prior? Listen to him?
Yes, I was listening to it until I tried to get on Zoom. Then my sound wanted to act crazy.
Okay, go ahead, Rugo. Did you hear?
I heard like the last 5 minutes. I had a problem like logging on.
Oh, okay. Well, we got it. That was Officer Malik Mostella and his mentoring program that he started, where it's kind of, he said he's the pencil that connects the community to the police officers, but his mentoring program is actually for the children, students of Youngstown City Schools first. That's the hub. That's where we're going to start. And if you would like to be a mentor, you can email him at P as in Pat, T as in talk, L as in listen, M, last name is Mostella, 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 at youngstownohio.gov. Just shoot him an email and he'll get you on. And that's once you become a mentor, they're starting at 3rd grade through 12th, whichever grade your child will be in, you follow them through graduation. So it is a lifetime commitment, I say, because I was a mentor and I still speak to my lovely ladies. All right. How was your guys' week? Was it fun? You don't got to tell me what you did, but was it fun?
Girl, I was busy the whole time.
Oh, so you had a good time?
Yeah, but I was busy trying to get prepared for this big movie.
Got you. All right. Rugo, anything exciting and fun for you?
Trials and tribulations of life. Working through it.
Trials and tribulations. Oh.
Trials and tribulations.
Oh.
But I met up with some old friends yesterday for breakfast, and it was magnificent. You know, I really missed those guys. I was really happy to be able to reconnect with them. So that was
good. Was that like, you said yesterday? Oh, because I remember before the show you would be going to breakfast. Are those the same guys? Before the show, some years ago?
Back in the day, I haven't had a breakfast with them in quite some time. But
awesome.
This was like the core OG group.
Okay.
So
you said the core OG group, the originals?
OG group, yeah, So that was good.
Okay. All right. I want to answer Rosetta's. This is the same mentoring program that Guy Burney is having. I'm not sure, but I will definitely. It's not okay. She said no, but I'll.
Because I'm part of that.
Oh, okay. So
I'm part of that.
Okay, let me finish. I'll contact Malik. Nick said no. He said his is a lifetime mentoring. I think that's the name of it. But you can always email him and ask him. And it's PTL Mostella at youngstownohio.gov. Feel free to ask him those questions. Okay, yes. For Daryl, yes, you do. You can ask him for what age you want. You know what I mean? And they'll set you up. He explained that some people, they don't do good with little, smaller children. They do good with high school, junior high. So you can let him know and he'll match you up. Thank you for your questions. All right. Let's see. Did I answer all of them? Okay. All right. I think I answered all of them. So you lovely people, keep watching and keep listening and send those questions in. The phone number is 619-902-2287. Shall we get started on this stuff that is really happening right now? Me and Officer Malik were talking about, he said that a lot of the children want, because I said, how is it to mentor today? He said a lot of the children want to start their own business. We all know what that entails. Work. Now, the reason I brought that up is because the nobody wants to go back to work. Did you see McDonald's? I can't remember where it was at, but McDonald's, they put up on the marquee that they said, we all quit. Sorry for the inconvenience. So you know that the manager spearheaded that. I really feel like that. You had to put it up there. You taking that big stick and putting up on the doggone marquee. We all quit. Sorry for your inconvenience. A lot of people seem to have started their own business during COVID when we shut down. And that's what I find being the reason when they say nobody wants to work, because they're working for themselves. What's your thoughts on no one wanting to work? Rugal, I'm going to ask you first.
Well, I mean, if they're starting their own business, it's clearly it's not that they don't want to work. They just want to pursue their own endeavors. So, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Okay, what's your thoughts, Nick?
I feel the same way. It's not that they don't want to work, because if they didn't want to work, they wouldn't be trying to start their own business. They want, nobody wants to be bothered with all the bull crap associated with working hard and you're not getting paid, or you may not be getting recognized for your hard work. A lot of that is going on. Or if a boss has a certain person that they like more than others, they cater to that person, let that person get away with murder, while those that are really working hard and making that real oil machine run, they're not getting recognized. People are tired of that. And so you can work for yourself, keep all your money. You ain't got to worry about it. You just, between you and the IRS, deal with that. You ain't got to worry about all that. I don't blame some of them. I mean, granted, we still need people to work for these, got grocery stores and restaurants, and, we need people in the industry, but I understand.
Okay. All right. You put that out there. And I agree with you. Some people are just tired. And then you also have where everyone had to sit down and think, and then realize and live within their means. 2020 made you rethink things and live within your means. What's important and what's not. Shout out to you, Lewis Macklin, that actually said, buy what you need, not what you want. And we've heard that saying over and over and over. But it's like that. And in 2020, people were purchasing, well, I don't know if everybody was, but we were purchasing what we needed, not BBLs. Because remember, we talked about that, So you have a point, Nick. And some people are, feeling, well, they did feel unappreciated. And here's the deal. We're working for somebody else's dream. You be like, that's your dream, not mine. Right. And now people are looking at working on their dreams and how they can benefit. And I have to say, 2020 kind of made the entrepreneurs, whatever your service was, they put them out there. Because even the Lyft drivers and all of them that were out before, they came up. The people that go to the grocery stores for you came up. Like that one guy I told y'all about, remember, he started doing, taking bodies to he was like the Uber, but his own service where he was taking bodies to the actual funeral homes and picking them up in his own van. He made a come up. So people are starting to work for themselves. So I'm not mad at him. I'm definitely not mad at him. Let's talk about John Gruden. Remember him? Look, and I say remember him because this whole cancel culture thing. What's your thoughts on John Gruden? And the people that don't know who John Gruden is the head coach for the Raiders. And they found some emails. They said they went through 650,000 emails from 2011 or 12 to 2018, and they found some like homophobic comments that was in his email, some racist comments in his email. What's your thoughts on that? And who do you think blew the whistle, Rugal?
Obviously somebody who had insight to what was going on, but I was never ever. And then when I say this, John Gruden. To me, John Gruden he won a Super Bowl. But really, his Super Bowl, he won a Super Bowl with Tampa Bay. But the team he won with was Tony Dungy's team. Tony Dungy, the year before, over the course of a few years, had really built up that team. And then the Tampa Bay organization got rid of him for whatever reason, I don't remember. And I don't remember if it was wrong, because he had his son and I know we're talking about John Gruden, but
go ahead.
Understand the pathway there. Tony Dungy used to be the coach for the Colts. Then he went to Tampa Bay. He built him up, got him going well, and then somehow they got rid of him. And it's like, well, he had him on a winning, this has been a traditionally losing franchise, and he made them winners. And then Tony Dungy slips in, which I think anybody could. I mean, not Tony Dungy. John Gruden slips in, which I think any coach could have slipped in and won that Super Bowl with that team.
Okay.
Right? So he goes on. I think there was some time he moves on to the Raiders, and he becomes that coach. They give him $100 million contract, as if like I was like, why would you give this guy that money? Like, I mean, I'm just saying, like, when you really break it down and look at like his time coaching, what is it that makes you think that this guy's worth $100 million to begin with? The thing was, it was purely, this guy is a special kind of racist. Because he's the kind that denied, I don't have a racist bone in my body, but you told a black man that he had big rubber lips like Michelin tires. I mean, that's what you texted. That's what you texted.
And he didn't get knocked out?
Yeah, he didn't say it to him.
These were in the emails.
And he also said, don't replace me with one of these monkeys. Well, he said big lip Michelin tire monkey, right? Mm-hmm. And he said, then he go, that's what I call people that lie, rubber lips. Right? I'm like, dude, you
just got caught.
Like it is.
So who was he referring to as a monkey then?
It was.
We know that's why they got rid of him. Go ahead.
I can't remember the guy's name, but it was a black man. And then it was talking about not replacing him because this was when he was doing some kind of hosting or whatever. And it's just like they were the NFL at one point in time was really trying to make him the second coming of John Madden. That's what it was. I'll tell you that off top because John Madden has had tremendous success. Some good success as a coach. He's in the Hall of Fame and everything like that. Won with the Raiders, the Super Bowl. But, he's more or less known for the video games. And they were really trying to make him that guy. They were grooming him to be that guy. Mm-hmm. And he was just like, in my opinion, never that guy. But, it's like the stuff he said, like it was just like you are racist. You may not want to believe you are, but you are. This is not one tweet. This is not one email. This is a history of just.
Yes, they looked all the way back to 2011, all the way up to 2018. Over 650,000 emails. So somebody blew the whistle, was like, okay, you know what? Y'all need to know about this guy. And he had homophobic emails as well. Now, my thing is, from 2011 all the way to 2018, could he have changed or have a different way of thinking than he did back in 2011?
No.
Nick says no? Okay.
I think the problem is that every point of change comes with a level of vindication of what you do to show that turnaround.
Okay.
When you look at the heart of some of his messages, he was basically, I know for sure from what he was saying, that he was not on the side of what Kaepernick was doing. And I don't think he was on the side of like realizing like what was going on with police brutality and all that other stuff with African Americans. Mm-hmm. I just think that basically maybe his buddies that he was having those emails with, mm-hmm. for some reason he ended communication with them. Maybe they didn't have the same jobs, maybe, whatever it was. But that rich history without a turning point. Because even in this situation, he just resigned. Most people who feel like they owe something back will be like, well, I'm going to give money to this organization.
Some of that $100 million.
I'm going to go through some kind of like counseling or anything like that. He gave no level of there was no level of like, well, I'm just sorry or any stuff. Nothing like that. Like,
okay, so he was unapologetic and he just was like, okay, I'm out.
He resigned. I mean, like, what did he show he didn't show any action to like, okay, I was wrong about this. Even if we all be like, man, that's a bunch of crap. You're giving that money because, right? But
we'll take it.
He didn't even do that. He just like, I'm out.
All right.
Don't change their spots.
True.
Yeah.
Now, RBG, they had some controversy with RBG, rest in peace, where she spoke about Colin Kaepernick. Did you hear about that?
No.
Yeah, that was just recent, and some people feel as though that why are we bringing this up now that she's gone? We should have brought this up when she was here. She was Katie Couric cut that part out. She had interviewed with her, and she cut that part out of the interview because people had held her in high regards. She said she didn't want any issues.
That's Katie. Then people should be mad at Katie Couric.
Why bring it out if you didn't?
I mean, but the thing is that the thing if you interview somebody, you do it for the good, the bad, and ugly, and not to just pose it towards your position. And if Katie Couric, as she said, felt like she needed to hold something back, why did she do that? Why? I mean, obviously you asked the question, so now why do you and your producers feel that it's unfit to share with the people?
Right.
Was it Katie's decision not to, or was it the producers? And because sometimes they like producers, sometimes some of these people that do interviews, they want to play the whole interview. They don't want nothing cut out, and it comes down to the job. Okay, you're either going to cut this out, we're not going to play this, or we'll replace you. I may not have had a choice.
I think on an interview level, though, I think Katie Couric is on Oprah Winfrey level. I think she's on what's the other lady from the View, the main person.
Whoopi?
60 Minutes. No.
Oh, you mean Barbara Walters, the one who started the View?
Yeah, I think she's on that kind of level. Like I think she's producing that. She want I think if she's involved with it, the issue is that we build up these media people to say, well, they're involved with it. It's a certain level of integrity, a certain level of the truth is going to be more there. And you decide to ask the person a question but don't want to film it. If it was Ed Bradley, would Ed Bradley not do it? Would 60 Minutes not do it? I don't know. But the point is that like if you're gonna ask the scary question, then you need to be able to share what that information was. But I don't even know what you're talking about because I didn't hear it. So.
Yeah, I'm talking about Katie Couric. Now you brought up a good point, and you as well, Nick. Katie Couric, she actually was the one that said that she wanted it cut out. So both you guys are right. But here's my thing: she's going to be on The View this upcoming week. I can't remember the day, and she'll talk about it. But my question is, if you didn't want it played, why do you want to talk about the part that you had cut out? Why bring it up now that she's gone?
Because she's gone.
She wanted Katie Couric to stay relevant.
That's where I'm at. I'm like, it's just so interesting.
Let me just have this in my archives to be able to talk about. You should have brought it out at the point in time.
Right. I agree. I agree with you. Definitely agree with you.
What did she say? Do we know what it was? Do we know what she said?
It was talking about Colin Kaepernick and how it's disrespectful. I'm paraphrasing, but it'll be on The View next week. I like The View, so I'll shout them out all day long. She's going to be on The View, and then she'll be able to discuss that. Hopefully, with the backlash, because they did the preview of it. They do like a commercial of what's going on and what, who's coming. Hopefully she don't renege and back out or backpedal, but I do have that.
It's probably already recorded. It's probably done.
Not yet.
Do they do their shows live or?
I thought they did their shows live again since the audience is there, but
okay.
I don't know.
I mean.
Oh, you mean live like we do live?
No, they do it live, but they also record because a lot of these shows. They do several episodes in one day, like 3 or 4 episodes in one day.
But you know what? Yeah, because that's on the Wendy show. They did that because it was 2 when we were there. But you know what, though? Remember when Anna and Sonny got rushed off the stage? I thought that was live, and that's why they had to do it. Like Joy Behar ended up talking to the audience and doing a Q&A segment because they rushed them off when Kamala was on. Go ahead.
I'm not saying that it's not live. I'm just saying it can be recorded in front of a live studio audience, like how the Jeffersons used to be. You know that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. The Jeffersons. Don't talk about the Jeffersons. I miss that programming. I miss programming where it was acting, and these reality shows is getting on my nerves. But don't every reality show except the Real Housewives of Potomac.
That's the worst.
Like the Potomac got me zoomed in. All right, let's talk about. So we talked about John Gruden, Dave Chappelle. Remember, Netflix was talking about. I think we talked about it last week. Netflix was talking about ridding him and the LGBTQ community. Well, Netflix was not. Let me correct myself. They were not talking about getting rid of him. The LGBTQ plus community and transgenders were talking about cancel Dave Chappelle. And Dave Chappelle, y'all know.
A lot of them got their jobs canceled.
But guess right. And Dave Chappelle said, it don't matter to me. I already got my check. True. Like whatever. But the whole cancel culture. Now, that guy, I'm with Rugal, he should have actually came and just made a statement or take sensitivity courses like Nick Cannon did when he disrespected, I can't remember what it was because we so past it. I throw that stuff out when we leave.
It was the Jewish community.
The Jewish community, and he got education.
I forgot exactly what it was, but I know it was something he said about Jews.
Okay, and then he got some sensitivity training and he learned some things from them. Where John, as Rugal stated, it was like, oh, okay, I'm out. I'm just going to leave. Done. So Dave Chappelle, these people, the transgender, and I don't want to say that whole LGBTQ community, but some of the LGBTQ plus community were like, well, we're leaving the workers. And I just feel like, does Netflix have enough transgender people to actually, to walk out and it affects them? Yeah, that's just my thoughts. And I got another point. If you're going to look at Dave Chappelle's piece, which is comedy, you got to look at everything Netflix stream and just get rid of all of them if it's offensive to people, not just the LGBTQ plus community. Go ahead.
You know what kills... Oops.
No, go ahead.
Okay. I was going to say, what kills me nowadays is about, like you said, cancel culture. Like, everybody is sensitive and it's not funny to joke about this, that, or the other. But they still, where's our sensitivity training when it comes to people making jokes about black folks and comedians? Because even our own people make, and there's nothing said or no, oh my God, I can't believe they said that when it comes to us. But when it comes to everything and everybody else, then it's a problem. People get over it. It's comedy. It's what keeps some people laughing. If you don't like it, move on. Because I've seen a lot of comments about this from people in that community that said they didn't find anything offensive. It was funny. And a couple of them did say, well, if that's the case, if we got to cancel it because he made, jokes about our community, then what about when he talks about his own people? Boom, there you go.
Okay.
It's okay when we getting talked about, though. It's okay.
Go ahead, Rugal.
Well, I watched it, and I think that like this, people can find you can say anything and people will be offended, right? And I'm not discrediting anyone's level of offense. But what I got from it was when he was talking about his friend Daphne, who was a transgender woman who he gave an opportunity to open up for him at every show he did in San Francisco, and he was talking about their relationship and how like even when there was times where Daphne shared with him like, hey, I need you to see me as a human being, your humanity. And it was a lot. I think some people got upset about some of the jokes, but I think when I looked at the part where he was talking about his friend, the opportunity he gave his friend, and the situation that happened to where his friend tried to defend him, like, hey, that ain't David Chappelle is all about. And then the community, the community in which that person was a part of came down so hard on that person that, and it's alleged, it's alleged on why the person committed suicide, why Daphne committed suicide. But, Dave Chappelle says, I'm sure that didn't help. You
right.
know what I mean? But, I looked at it as a love letter to his friend. I think like in the story that he told about, how they came from different sides of the track, but they became really, really good friends. I will tell you that, he was going for it. Like if he was trying to get canceled, he did everything in his power to do it. You know what I mean? He went out of his way. But I think the issue, too, remains that I think some of the community that felt that they were impacted negatively from it, because there was a transgender black woman comedian, and I forgot her name. It's Flame somebody. But she pretty much was in defense of what he was saying. Like from what I see from her interview with CNN. I forget what's the guy? Lemon Jack, not Jack Lemon. What's his name?
Frank.
Is it Frank? Frank Lemon.
I tried. It don't even sound right.
He's the reporter for CNN. Lemon. It might be
Don? Is it Don Lemon?
Don. It's Don.
Listen, I had to sit there. I was like, let me see. I said, no, she didn't throw out a Frank. It's like, he was like, that don't even sound right. Like
he had two people from that community, both black transgender women that were, one was like against it, the other one was like, supporting him and that sort of thing. And I think at the heart of it has people talking.
You know what? Yeah, and more people are viewing it. Now, the issues that I have with it is the people that are making judgment without seeing it. They just see clips. I looked at it as, and they're like, oh, no, instead of looking at the entire thing. Honestly, I looked at it as a tribute to Daphne. I looked at it more so as apologetic. I looked at it as informative, and there's some truths in it, and it's truths in all comedy. That's why it's comedy, because you could relate. When he, especially when he said that he sucked, he was terrible, man. She was terrible. Mm-hmm. I laughed so hard. I was like, I know how that could be. You'd be like, oh man, but okay.
She bombed for 45 minutes.
That's right. And didn't leave, so it showed the strength. But the ending part that you speak of, Rugal, when she defended Dave Chappelle and her own community turned on her, just as I said before, I'm not saying that's why she killed herself, but it didn't help. I'm with him on that 110%. So it's okay for you to, if people don't agree with you, it's okay for you to bully them, because that's what happens. I made a comment one time, and I did this intentionally. I made a comment because someone spoke ill will of someone that I know. Even if I don't like the person, and I can actually say it. It was on a Facebook post, and someone was running for election, and it said they're going to, and I'm paraphrasing, they're going to propose that all gays are killed, or something to that effect. Right. That's a lot, isn't it? And I commented on that, and I'm like, kill, like that's a lot to say. Even if you don't like the person, don't want that person elected, that's a lot. To say they're going to propose, they're going to get killed. So I had posted, I said, well, she's not anti-gay. And that's what I commented. But I misspoke. She may not, and I said, well, I'm going to say hate gays or something like that to that effect, where she wants them killed. She doesn't want anybody killed. And even if I don't really click with you, I still cannot be okay with allowing that to be there without saying anything. Because Carol Burr's mom said, saying nothing is approval. So when you see that, some people look, I'm like, she's not going to kill. What if somebody goes and kill her thinking she wants them killed just by somebody posting something? Posting something is major. And I'm bringing that up because them attacking Daphne. You know what I mean? I don't agree with you, but I'm going to attack you. That is not okay. And I'm going to tell you this. It is not okay for you to see something without saying something, especially when it's that harsh and you talk about killing somebody. I just couldn't sit there. So then I got attacked by a whole bunch of people. And they were like, well, we'll show you the footage, or we'll show you this. We have screenshots if you're interested. So I commented, I'm not that interested. Like, I don't need to see what this person did. I'm not that invested. That's what I said. I'm not that invested. But just, you have to watch with what you post. You know what I mean? Especially when you're using the words kill. Some people take that stuff seriously. And if somebody says something wrong about anybody and they say it to me, even though that wasn't to me, that was just out in the public, I'm like, whoa, let's stop this. This is about to be bad. You know what I mean? You have to say something. Like I say, even if I don't click with that individual, if I know that individual a different way, and I did put that on there, I haven't had those conversations. Our conversation is very different. So I'm going to judge based off of my experience with the individual, not yours. You can't show me something that says A, B, C, and D. My actual experience with the individual. And that's what we need to do. We need to actually, and if you don't even want to stand up, you got to check people and be like, I didn't have that experience. You know what I mean? And don't change your mind based off of how somebody else thinks. Now, let's take it on back to when they were upset with Nicki Minaj. And when I say they, I use it, air quotes and loosely. When they were upset with Nicki Minaj for talking about the vaccine that her cousin and all that extra stuff and end up becoming impotent or something like that. You remember that? Now they have where Cardi B, the GOP, I don't even gotta say they, the GOP actually pretty much is rooting for Cardi B, talking about Cardi B set an example, keep talking politics. I say politics, they say politics. So is it okay, as I'm moving on, my little segue, is it okay for people to root on whatever they're selling? And not, if they're not selling, I'm messing up this whole question, but is it okay for pop culture, that's what I'll call her, put her in that, pop culture, to be an example when it's beneficial for a particular group?
Well, you gotta remember, this same group came out against her when she came out with WAP. That's really firm filth, what are you talking about, So, I mean, the thing is that you have people who are going to try to use anything on their side. And the truth about the world is that everything is on the spectrum. Everybody is on the spectrum with every issue and that sort of thing. And it's like either you're more for it, you're in the middle, or you're on, against it. And I think sometimes that spectrum slides, but the how people try to use people or whatever, or use a comment that one person says, because, I mean, let's face it, there's a lot of people that are Kanye fans, but I don't think they switched their political position because Kanye was a Trump supporter. You know what I mean? So I just think like this, don't go, like I said before about Tom Cruise. I don't go to Tom Cruise for spiritual advisement. I go to Tom Cruise for 2.5 hours of kick-ass movie. You know what I mean? If he's giving me that, that's what I'm there for. And I think people need to take that in consideration when they're looking at the people that entertain them and say, well, they have this particular stance. They can have that particular stance, but is that stance your stance? Does that stance support your convictions or not? I think that's when it becomes important. Like, no one's going to say anything bad about the celebrity who's saying, hey, there's hunger in Africa. Like, how do we get money over there? Or there's genocide in Darfur. How do we stop that? No one's going to be against those sort of things. When it comes to these political, like, oh, this person agrees with us this day, we hate them the next, and all that other stuff. Those aren't issues that are going to solve what our true problems are, that we deal with in humanity. Until we get people in one accord on how we fix these things. I'm sorry, I'm in a monologue, so I'll be done.
No, I wanted to hear until we.
I'm just saying, like, it's just, I talked to somebody about the vaccination the other day, And, you know, I was like, hey, everybody has their point of view. I explained to them my point of view, you know, and I said the issue about the vaccination, I don't know if the question should be, if the argument should be if you should take it or not. The argument you should have is if the world governments could come together to try to find an ends to something that's harming the globe, why are we dealing with other problems that could be purely solved with less ingenuity but more unity?
All right.
You know, that's the thing that pissed me off about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not the vaccination, but the work that went in to make sure that everyone was working on one accord to see the work done.
Right.
You know, you can have your position on if you feel if it's effective or needed. But the issue was, look what's been done over the last year to solve a crisis, an attempt to solve a crisis. You know, the only way it's going to be solved is through people taking whatever steps are necessary to ensure that we end the spread. However, the issue at the heart of it is like, if you can get that global unity on that issue, why can't we solve hunger? Why can't we purify water? Why do we have why is poverty an issue?
Okay, pin that. Let's go back to the topic real quick.
Yeah.
Nick, what's your thoughts? Not on the vaccine. Let's talk about people not agreeing with you and attacking you.
It's not okay for anybody. I mean, we can agree to disagree and just leave it at that. Like, I'm over all of that. Like, let's speak positivity, okay? What is the positive side, or what can we come like a positive solution on this end, positive solution on this end? Okay, we agree, we disagree about this, but all that attacking, we don't, like, why? I'm over all of that mess for real. It's like if it's not something that is gonna positively move me or bring it positive, like something, I don't want to be bothered. I'm like, okay, next.
Right, you definitely do have to protect your own positive energy. Let's go to the viewer. Nia says, people don't like when others have opinions, especially on social media. There is few individuality. People post but get upset when someone doesn't think like them. We need to learn to debate without hate. Art says, change the channel, don't watch it. And
right.
That everyone is entitled to their own opinion.
Right.
So why the attack? Why the attack? It's just really, really interesting. Go ahead.
I think the issue becomes what position does our governing bodies take when it comes to these things? Are they taking it from a place of their own personal convictions, or what they think is good for the populace? And we'll see a lot of decisions being made or swayed based off of.
One second. I hear a whole bunch of interference in the back. Is somebody talking?
It's probably on my side. I'll mute my.
Okay. I want to talk about when there was a thing. Rugo, I can't hear you. Muted it. Are you talking to me or over there?
I'm not saying anything.
Oh,
I'm just
okay.
gonna mute it.
Okay. When you they talked about before. Remember, it was gay is the new black. Do you remember that, Nick?
Yeah.
And how do you feel about people mirroring oppression or our oppression? And Rugo, I want your input as well.
It's sickening. I mean, you can't. Being gay is a choice. You choose to be gay. And I'm probably going to get attacked by a
girl, go on. We talking this shop talk. Go on. Everybody worry about that.
Exactly. And I'm going to let y'all know I don't care. That is my opinion. So, and I'm not one to let anybody bully me. I'm just going to let y'all know. But being gay is a choice. Some people say that they felt like they never felt right. Okay, but you were born this way. You chose to live your life this way. That's a choice. We did not choose to be black. So for you to compare your woes with the oppression of black people as a whole, not gay, straight, whatever. I'm including, if you black, I'm including you in that part.
Okay.
You really need to sit down and think. You sound like a fool, period, point blank. Like I said, y'all get mad, y'all say whatever. I don't care. You saying it on social media, you ain't saying it in my face.
Okay.
You say it to my face. You might.
Look, all right. We gonna. I thought we were honing in on our positive energy.
I am. I'm just saying.
But didn't nobody even attack you yet? You already ready on the defense. They ain't even attacked Rugo. You see that? Look, you see that, Rugo? She letting them know what's gonna happen. Okay. Go ahead, Rugo. What's your thoughts on that? Wait. Okay. I got you. Okay. What's your thoughts on different organizations mirroring oppression?
Well, the first thing I want to say is that I don't agree with Nick on her evaluation on what makes a person gay or not. I don't. That has nothing. I have no comment on that. But what I will say is this: is that
and I'm not even going to say just gay, just overall. Let me just put that. Yeah, just overall.
Everybody has every group that's been hated on has their own journey, and every group's journey through overcoming that thing, that hardship, that prejudice, that discrimination is all different. It's all different. There's no real sliding scale on black oppression. You know what I mean? I mean, we could look at it and say, well, during slavery, light-skinned people were in the house. They had less, they had better jobs than the dark-skinned ones who may have been out in the field and all that kind of stuff. I mean, if you wanted to go into that level of detail, but the issue is bondage, in that particular set. I think the thing is that we as African Americans, we have a really good playbook on how to overcome these things, even though we still haven't gotten our just desserts from the discrimination that we face as a group throughout the years that we've been here in this country. We're still dealing with issues of discrimination as it may not be as far as you being in shackles, as it may be you being put in a situation not to be able to thrive based off of the design of certain laws and the impact of people who want to keep that separation going.
Mm-hmm. My thoughts on it is, well, let me go to the viewer first. Nia said apples and oranges. And then she also, which is an agreement with me, when someone comes to me with that, trying to mirror oppression, because you remember it was, okay, that's like this. I think the only group that was similar to being black and being hated for just because you were black. Now, if it was a Jew, you'd be like, okay, like the genocide. It's like, it's crazy. And you're right, Ruko, when you said everyone has their own. But to me, don't compare. Do I give that energy? I don't. When somebody says that, I just kind of look like, okay. Instead of the whole argument of it. And Nia also says, she's like, why do we give it energy? There's some people do and some people don't. Just like the N-word. When I was speaking about with Dave Chappelle and he offended that community. And I think, Nick, you were talking about how he offends everybody. You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, and what was done? Did cancel it? No, go back to Art's. Art's comment was, don't watch it. And that's it in a nutshell. Just don't watch it. All right, let's move on to Jelani Day, the young man that was found, he was killed. His mom, and they were saying, I want to put this out here for those who don't know, they were saying that he was found with no organs. Do you remember that? On the news everywhere. They were saying he was found with no organs. They cut his jaw. They had 2 different autopsies. One said one thing, one said the other thing, and removed his teeth. He had no eyeballs, and his organs were liquefied. All that stuff. Well, Mom said, and this was 2 days ago, Mom actually said that no organs were missing. And she wants to focus on who killed her son. He was a pre-med student. And she wants to know who actually killed her son. But Mom said, and I'm using air quotes because I can't remember which article I got that from, but Mom said she want to focus on that. And no organs were missing because all the media outlets were talking about how his organs were missing, because that's how I clicked on. And you get nervous, like, oh, I should not walk or anything. And they said that the town in Illinois, I can't remember what city or town it was, that it's a sundowning town. And it's still around. Like we had, what is it?
Is it Springfield? It was Springfield, was it?
I can't even remember it, ain't even thinking about it. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, Now, do you
they
think...
got one in Georgia like that.
Right. Do you think that Oprah ever wanted to get married to Stedman? Now, we've been watching Oprah for a long time.
No, she's comfortable where their relationship is.
What about you, Rugal? We talking in the 80s. 80s Oprah.
I mean, she...
I wouldn't now. I'd be like, no, I'm cool. Go ahead.
She had all the power to do whatever she wanted to do at any step of that time. So I would just say no, whatever for whatever reason. But I don't know why, but I would say no.
Okay.
One of the reasons I think, and this is my opinion.
Go ahead.
Everybody has one. One of the reasons why she comfortable and wasn't thinking about marriage is, what if it didn't work out and they got a divorce? Then he'll try to come for her for half of her estate. And you know that she's one of the richest in the world. She ain't having that.
Well, I read an article. Go ahead, Rugal, and then I'll tell you.
Well, I was going to say, well, maybe she had a side dude.
That could very
It's gonna come out. It's gonna come out one day. It's gonna be like the true lover of Oprah.
Right.
She couldn't get married. She loves Stedman, but she had that side dude.
Yeah, because remember she said that he lived in the back house. They couldn't live together. And see, that's kind of cool to have your own space. Hey, boom, boom, here you go. Certain things, I don't like the way that you live, you don't make the bed, whatever. Those are things that you have to take into consideration when you marry. And you have people out there that feel as though that since you don't marry, nobody ever wanted to marry you. Well, 35 years they've been together. And at the beginning, she said she didn't like him. She thought he was handsome, but she thought he was a player. And then, her staff was saying that he was just there, watch your back, watch him, because he just probably wants in on her. Because at this time, when they first started talking, she had just got to talk show. Now, she actually said that he did propose, and that's all she ever wanted, to know that she was worthy of being proposed to, of being a wife, but she declined. And yeah, who wants to deal with that? And when I read the article, what I took from it was very key. What I took from it was, when you are a wife, and I'm using air quotes, the way society deemed you to be a wife, the things that you need to do, she actually was focused on her career, and she didn't have the time to put in all of that to be a wife when she was focused on her career, i.e. where she is now. And a lot of people don't want to be married. A lot of females don't want to be married because they know that they're not ready to invest all of their time in being a wife, because you want to put 100% in anything that you do. But now, especially, look, and both y'all, look, you're a wife and he's a husband, and there's things that's expected. But if you are dating, things aren't expected.
Right. I think I don't agree with that.
Go ahead.
I think if you're dating, there's probably more expectations.
Really?
I do.
Okay.
I do. I mean, because think about it. How many people got married? They be like, oh, look at them now. They all fall off. They don't even, you gain weight and everything like that. all that kind of stuff. And then I think when you're out there just steady dating, you're always still working. It's still, I mean, not that you shouldn't work when you get married, but the reality of it is,
I got them now.
I think it's more work that goes into dating than it does in marriage. Because I think the work is different. The work turns into joint survival versus let me vie for your attention. Let me fit into your plan.
Okay.
And I just kind of feel like even with Oprah had a television show, her amount of wealth and celebrity, how it grew, like, is she going to really, do the 1% deal with marriage in a way that the bottom 1% deals with it? The bottom 10%. I mean, like, is the question, did somebody go grocery shopping? Is the question what's for dinner? Those aren't the, is a question like, hey, we got to make this light bill work. Those aren't the things. I mean, like, if they, I just think with that amount of wealth that the conversation becomes more intimate on what you two desire to do versus like what you have to do.
Go ahead, Nick. What's your thoughts? Chirp. Okay, I'll let you think. I'll let you think. But you know what, Rugal, you have a point. I think that her even being a celebrity, her husband probably does want a home cooked meal.
Okay, all right. If I didn't even have to have Oprah money. Give me like, I'm trying to think of somebody who got. If I got so much money, there's a point where me cooking is like, oh, I'm cooking on a holiday. We're cooking because of this. We're cooking because of that. But just to be like, hey, we just going through the thing. I think those opportunities happen, but more or less, there's somebody that's going to be. There's a schedule. There's a schedule. We're scheduled to have this dinner at this time. It's going to be at Chez Andre or whatever it is, or
some exclusive restaurant.
Or the culinary room or whatever. You know what I mean? I mean, like, come on. I did like home cooked meal. I mean, you're gonna have those opportunities for it. But even when you're in the bottom percentile of wealth, they don't say you ain't always having a home cooked meal. You're gonna have a little KFC, little Kenny Kings. Sometimes you're gonna go and get your little red lobster, you're feeling froggy. I mean, come on, you gonna go get your, that's a big misconception that when you're in that bottom percentile, that all those meals are gonna be home cooked. That marriage is so much different. And sometimes you gotta lean into that can of beans because ain't nothing else. So don't give me that, man.
Yeah. Now see, what's interesting? How often do you cook home cooked meals, Nick? Right now, being a working wife.
Not often. I'll try to do it on Sunday, but like between the two jobs, when I get off from one, I'm laying down to take a nap before the other one. So on my off day, and then Saturdays are busy. So Sunday is about the only day he's gonna get it home with me.
Okay, so now
he cooks.
Okay,
during the week. Now,
Rugal, how often do you expect to get a home cooked meal?
Whenever I'm feeling like eating something I want,
that's when
I'm gonna cook it.
You cook it, okay?
That's just my thing. Now, like, don't get me wrong, my wife cooks, but we cook two different cuisines, right?
Okay.
And so sometimes I'm like, okay, I can go for that, and sometimes I'm like, yeah, I can't go for that. But then there's times where neither one of us can go for that at all.
Okay.
And what happened? And you got some Mr. Uptown up in this place, something like that crazy. But yeah, I just think there's ebbs and flows to it, and the reality is if y'all both out here trying to make things happen, they gonna always be a home cooked meal. Somebody will have to cook this, somebody have to cook that. Because there's plenty of times I didn't have breakfast for dinner. And
you did it yourself?
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right.
Because my omelets is a bomb, yo.
Okay. Now, did y'all know Little Debbie is reinventing herself? Now she has ice cream. Little Debbie ice cream with the Christmas trees, with chunks of that cake. What's your thoughts on the Little Debbie ice cream?
There's only certain things from Little Debbie that I like. Other than that, I don't know.
Okay.
So if I was in the Little Debbie camp,
okay,
right, and they said, well, what should we do? Like, I would say, I would definitely try. If I was going for an ice cream themed something, I would definitely try to do something with those oatmeal cream pies and some kind of ice cream. Like, I think you can make
crunch.
Or you can make an oatmeal cream pie ice cream sandwich. Like, keep it simple. You ain't got to be like trying to do your next Rocky Road and all that stuff. Just keeping it within your wheelhouse.
Okay. All right, let's go with the shop talk question of the week. I love my fiance, but he/she is not my best friend. Should we still marry? So do you believe that your best friend should be your spouse?
You want my opinion?
I want yours and then Nick's.
No.
No? Okay. Go ahead. What's your opinion? No?
No.
Okay, so, and it's mixed too. So we did a poll on it, and this is out of South Carolina. In my case, I was friends with two people I loved, but they turned on me. So I will say a best friend for me. So she's, that's Aurelia. She actually said that they have to be a best friend. Marcel said no, no. Todd says it's a business deal over 50. Retire well. So over 50, who cares if it's your best friend or not? Right. It's a business deal. That's his thoughts. Let's see here. Okay, Rodney said, how best friend is this best friend? So you say no, I say no too. Like, do you already have a best friend? Are you supposed to negate the fact that you had a best friend and now you're my best friend?
Exactly. And now in Aurélia's case, I can understand if they were your best friends and they turned on you. I've been there. Just
okay.
Move on.
All right.
If you want to make that person your best friend, fine. But yeah, I've been there where I had a best friend turn on me, but then I have another best friend.
But was that your husband though? But was that your husband?
No, but
okay,
so the husband ended up with the best friend.
Okay.
The thing is though, I think we hold our significant others to a higher level than what we hold our best friends to. I don't think it's equal.
Yes.
You know, I mean, because I got some best friends. I'm like, yeah, you cool, but you need to borrow how much money? I can give you 50.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Where it might be like your spouse, you'd be like, well, dang, I guess we have to figure out a way to make it work. But I also think though there's levels of things that you share with your best friend that you may not be able to share with your spouse. And somebody like, you should share everything.
Right.
I don't agree with that. I think there's certain things that like there's certain issues you may have to discuss with somebody who has a non-judgmental perspective on it. And sometimes the weight of a certain idea may haunt the person where they like, you ever in a situation where you date somebody or with somebody when they're like, what's wrong? What's this? And you be like, hey, because you're not. Or when you don't want to talk about something, they want to bring it up, right? Your friends know your cues about what's acceptable and what's not. Your spouses usually want to be the healer of all things. You be like, hey, this fall back, not today. Nobody wants to deal with this. All right.
Okay, let me go to a viewer. The viewer says that your husband is not your best friend for many reasons. That's what your girlfriends are for. The two are not the same. But many women have this misconstrued thinking this is what makes marriage secure or that he's the one. So she's agreeing with you. Like,
right.
And, Rugal, when you were saying that you have people that you talk to versus, your spouse, it's like you still have to have you. You still have to have you. And I have
your individuality.
Yeah,
okay.
if it works out that way or whatever, you know what I mean. But you know, but like if it were like I would have to like I've always seen people like they'll say that in their vows, like, you're just my best friend.
Somebody, I married my best friend.
You know, like BS. You know, you gotta show me that track record of you being the best friend.
Right. Let me call your other best friend.
Record, you know what I mean? Because sometimes, you know, like show me the track record of what you consider your best friend to be. Then I'll take that in consideration.
And you know what I have to ask, and they probably gonna hate me for this one, but it's like, well, we just met. I met you like, let's say 3 years ago or 2 years ago, and I'm your best friend. How good of a friend are you? Like, you didn't have any others?
Impossible.
Right.
You know what I mean? Impossible.
So should they still marry? If her fiance is not her best friend, should she still marry?
Yeah.
I mean, if she feels like she needs to marry her best friend, then she needs to figure out who her best friend is and marry that person.
Yeah, see that? I feel like, I'm like...
Because I guarantee you her best friend is not going to want to marry her.
Because her best friend know everything, right?
I guarantee you that.
Be like, I know everything and no. That's kind of scary to me when you have somebody or you're dating somebody and they say you're my best friend. You're like, we just became friends. Like, I just met you like a year ago, 6 months ago. How am I your best friend?
I don't even consider my husband a friend. That's my husband. That's a different category. Like,
your husband ain't even her husband ain't even her friend. She said. That's
me trying to sit here and be like, okay, it's just weird to me because I don't sleep with my friends. So that's not my friend. That's my husband. That is a totally different relationship than a friendship or best friendship. And honestly, if that's the case, that my husband's my friend, then I might as well go out there and spread my legs for all my friends. No.
Well, then you would be a friend with benefits.
Right. Yeah, that would be something totally different. Another entirely different category. Friends with benefits.
Right.
That is...
Yeah, I don't know. I just never thought about it. Now we're talking about it. I'm sitting here thinking about, like, I don't consider him my friend. That's my husband. I mean, it's a different level. I mean, because I love, my friends, my true friends, and my best friend, I love them to death. Yeah. I do.
Okay.
But the love I have for my husband is a different level of love, so no, I don't consider him my friend. Yeah. I love my friend one way and love my husband another way. So, and I ain't more than physical, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, I just never thought about that.
I mean, but then it's also the issue of, like, think about the stuff you did with your best friend. Would you be able to do half the hijinks that you did with your best friend, with your spouse?
Nah.
Not at all. Not at all.
No.
Oh, no. Not at all. Now, I can't even stay out past 10 o'clock.
Right. Right.
Not at all.
He'll be looking at me now, like, in some of the stories I would tell you, like, with some of my friends, stuff we did, he'd be sitting there looking at me like, for real? Like, you really did that? Like, something wrong with y'all.
Right. Be like,
so, yeah,
Be like, I ain't going.
Or some of the crazy stuff, I really keep to myself. Like,
hey, what's that sound? Do you know it?
That sound is...
Mel's is what? Tell me, Rugal, what is that sound?
Mel's medical moment.
All right. Yes, we haven't heard it in a while, but I find that it is imperative during this season to talk about. We're going to talk about asthma and allergies. Yes, asthma affects the bronchial tubes, causing the airway to narrow, okay, which makes it difficult to breathe. Allergies is an overreaction of the immune system, which can cause anaphylaxis, okay, where you're like, I cannot breathe at all. So I wanted to talk about this because there are 5 foods that negatively affect the lung function, okay? First is potato chips. Why, you ask? Salt and fat, bad for lung health. Chocolate, these are the top 5, okay? Chocolate. Why? Because chocolate has caffeine. It increases the heart rate and interferes with medication if you are on medication. So be sure to talk to your primary care physician, okay? Beer, it increases in the inflammation in the lungs, which will make it a little more harder to breathe. And then cold cuts. Do you like cold cuts, Nick? Yes, I'll tell you why. Cold cuts, it has nitrates in the processed meat, which is linked to decline in the lung function. And white bread. Because eating white bread, it works more. You know what I mean? It works more for the because of your metabolism. It decreases your metabolism. So you don't want that. But your girl will not give you the bad without giving you the good. So let's talk about it. Pumpkin. Since this is the season, 'tis the season. I know you don't like pumpkin. But pumpkin is full of antioxidants and anti-inflammatory properties, okay? So it kind of prevents inflammation. All right. Apples, believe it or not. Now, some say apples have caffeine, that's controversial, but apples, it decrease lung decline. So for you lovely people who smoke out there, not that it cures it, but it does help sustain. Okay. So apples. They didn't say the type, but apples. Leafy greens. We know leafy greens are always good. It provides the vitamins and it too decreases inflammation. All right. Beets. Do you like beets?
Love them.
Do you? Me too. Me too, especially pickled beets. But anyway, and that's probably bad, so don't scratch pickled beets off because that's high in salt. Just regular beets. It relaxes the blood pressure, optimizing oxygen intake. Okay, so you want to eat your beets, all right? And tomatoes. Tomatoes are also good for you if you have lung issues because it too decreases inflammation in the lungs. So I had to put that out there for my lovely people, and that is your male's medical moments for today. Go ahead.
You have two of those things that are good. You have the leafy greens, lettuce, and tomatoes on white bread.
Hear me.
Here you go.
Here you go. Leafy greens, not leafy lettuce. Leafy greens. Greens, honey, greens.
In that is lettuce, well, you can put some kale on there then.
Listen here. Yeah, you can put some kale on there. You definitely can do that. And this information was obtained from asbestos.com. Want to let your lovely people know. Do you know what asbestos is? A lot of people, you see the commercials in the class action suit. Do you know what asbestos is?
Yes, and right now we are fighting that on my dad's behalf.
Okay, because they
tried to say.
Okay, wait, I got to stay focused. I got to stay here, Nick. Look, I'm like, got to stay here because we're coming to a close. For those who don't know what asbestos is, and you see the class action lawsuits out there, that's like a fiber-like material used for like insulation, flooring, roofing. It's a serious lung condition, okay? Serious lung condition from long-term exposure. So I definitely wanted to put that out there. If you want to look at other foods, please go to asbestos.com. That's where I receive this lovely information. I'm going to keep you guys informed. That is definitely my goal. All right, Rugo. You got anything? 1 second. What's happening in the movie world?
Murder, She Wrote. Angela Lansbury.
Back?
Today. She is now 96 years old.
Oh, happy birthday.
Yeah.
Wow.
Murder, She Wrote. Mm-hmm.
Did you see the Wonder Years? The new Wonder Years?
I have not seen it yet. No, I didn't even know it was released yet.
I seen.
Go
ahead.
And I was looking for something to watch too. But with that said, oh man, why am I having a blank in my mind?
Probably it probably wasn't that COVID. You know they got that brain fog.
No, I just watched something and I was on my
Squid Games, maybe?
Squid Games. Squid Game, that was it.
Is it good?
Squid Game is really a story about the human condition. It is very interesting about what happens and some of the conundrums that they put these people through. I don't know, it's been out for about 2 weeks now. Have you watched it?
I started, but it was boring. I couldn't get past the second episode. You know me, my attention span is like.
The second episode is there to ramp up the rest of it. So the second episode it's a harder watch than the other ones because there's no like stuff happening. It's more background story on what's going on.
Okay.
But it's the catalyst to continue this this process, if you will.
Okay.
And like, you know, and from that, so you saw the end of the first episode. At the end of the first episode, they vote and then they leave, right?
Uh-huh.
Well, that would be a pretty boring series. So the second episode talks about why the Squid Game continued. And I don't even know if they even call it that in the thing. I think that this the last game was Squid Game. But the issue is that from that, of the people who came back, 93% of them went back.
Okay.
You know, and it's like, so, you know, what is the human condition in which you come back and you like, hey, I reevaluated this and I realized that this is my one shot, even if that one shot is death. You know, I think that's a very interesting construct. You know, would you, for your dream, would you risk it all? Risk it all.
I don't know. They said it was good. I didn't get past it.
Well, and the thing is, listen, honestly, skip the second episode.
Okay.
And just go back and then go right into the next one.
Oh, okay. So start with the first one and go to the third.
Well, I'm telling you that.
Oh, okay.
If the second episode, because the episodes is long, but I think that if you get because the second episode is one where kind of takes you out of it, right? But if you like in it to kind of see like what these people will do, then just get right to the third one. You know, obviously the story is so.
So should I watch it or not?
The second episode?
No, okay. So would you give it? What would you rate it on a scale of 1 to 5?
I gave it okay. Then I would give it a 4.
Oh, okay. So that might be pretty good. Did you see it, Nick?
No, I keep hearing everybody talk about it, so I'm gonna have to
check it out.
Time
right? Okay. All right.
The story you saw before, but you know.
Oh, okay. Let me give you today's footnote. Mentoring is a brain to pick, an ear to listen, and a push in the right direction. John C. Crosby. I like that. All right, lovely people. That is my time. Did you have small business spotlight today?
Not today.
Okay, no problem. That's good. All right, let's close it. I'm like, because we're running over time. That's why. So, all right. Find you, embrace you. Most importantly, always, always love you. Until next week, people. Shop top. We're going to get it.